Wake up, it's that time again. The sun's not here, but we're on again. Grab your coffee, grab your crystals and gather round. It's not lunch, it's not breakfast, it's the time we found. For brunch, well maybe we're busy. For brunch, maybe we're lazy. For brunch, well maybe it's Conquest. For brunch, or be your request. But brunch is the time that we make for each of us, where we ask Egnards dumb stuff, because brunch will always be the special time for Egnards and for me.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to brunch. Wow, it has been, I guess it really hasn't been a day. The day just started, but I got a brain fart. I lost my train of thought. I had a late night. My wife got home late. We ended up watching some TV. We looked at our phones, and we're like, oh shit, it's like 11:30. And I normally do not do well staying awake until 11:30. Good morning to those of you who have joined us this early. Moral Emperor, I actually finished that bottle of whiskey on Friday night with Avant during that GAC stream. It was bad. It just kept, oh man, we kept losing to things that we should not lose to. So I just kept drinking and drinking and drinking. And then we did user's account because he was not available that night, and I told him he would. And we won his battle, but that also had some pretty obnoxious losses as well. Meteorological spring, man, it's supposed to snow like 4 days next week. If it still is, I'm not even sure. Let's take a look. It's supposed to snow. Is it snowing right now? We've got like a really weird flurry thing kind of going on right now, though that's not supposed to stay. And then a mix of rain and snow on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday just rain, Sunday it's just gonna rain every fucking day for the next week. That is awful. That is disgusting. I am not looking forward to it. I would like another day off from work. That would be nice. I'll take that. But I don't know if I can do a whole week of rain and snow. And my basement probably can't do a whole week of rain and snow as well. Adis, how's the TW board looking, man? Are we going to be able to see TW Hero today? That is the important part, is will TW Hero be able to come out? Audio stream bitrate, blah, blah, blah. Just reading some stuff over here. Let's see. Let's check in on the game, shall we? Let's see what is going on in game. We've got our PC Master Race, data card, TW Hero Time. I love TW Hero Time. No, SNL is a today thing. We watch SNL usually on Sundays after we go to the movies. We're probably going to go see Scream 7 today, which is not supposed to be good. It's apparently pretty terrible. But that's okay. I bought the popcorn pass yesterday. For those of you that don't know, AMC has this new popcorn pass. It's $30, and then all of your large popcorn orders are 50% off. And I thought it was really dumb because I thought it was a monthly price. But it turns out it's for the whole goddamn year. And for the amount of times they go to the movies, we're going to be saving a lot of money by buying a lot of fucking popcorn. Let's see what's going on. Let's check out TW Hero for the day. Oh, actually, before I do my TW Hero for the day, I need to run some stupid battles here with all droids for that stupid quest, because I can't do this in Conquest, because in Conquest I actually need the wins right now, and I don't have any team that's going to be able to do that.
My goodness, your skills are quite incredible.
So we're going to run some faux battles to get me under 144, and then we'll go into TW for the TW Hero. How do I take my popcorn? I just take it as is. I actually don't like extra butter on my popcorn, because then your hands get all greasy. And I don't like that greasy feeling on my hands while I'm like at the movies. When I'm at home, I like to sprinkle a little bit of tahini on there. Tahini makes everything better. It gives it a nice little sparkle pop of heat. If you've never had tahini on your popcorn, I recommend trying it.
We're certainly lucky that you are on.
Sour Patch Kids in the popcorn, also super, super nice.
My goodness.
I don't need to go into the journey guide. I need to do this battle. This is because the node that I hit doesn't matter. I need to do the battle. Right? Like this is Kyrotex for Droid Brains. So I'm not wasting energy by doing this. Would it be faster? Sure, great, wonderful. That's super exciting. But it would also be a waste of my time, because then I'm doing battles needlessly. And I'm streaming right now, and every single thing that I do here is content, right? Thank you, Adis. This is the exact node that I would be hitting anyway.
My goodness.
I don't expect to do all 20 right now, because that sounds awful. But, you know, get a couple of them out of the way now. Do a couple of them later. But Snorlax, remember, I'm streaming right now, so I have to make content somehow, right? While I'm talking to you lovely people. Just like when we do Conquest in a little bit. And everybody's like, why aren't you just simming Conquest? Hey, Kimmy. Good morning. Adis, he's saying that the Padme event will be faster in terms of battles, which I understand. Not really concerned about that right now. Kind of annoying though, 20 battles. Like, I understand that we all want to do the battles right away. The battles aren't intended to be done right away. But doing 20 battles with droids, it's not even a super popular team. 20 battles with rebels, fine. 20 battles with Sith, fine. 20 battles of droids, like... Actually, Scribe sent me a video of his Conquest this morning, and I told him to get good, so... They're tedious, but they're tedious because... I mean, I don't want to defend this, because they are tedious. They're boring to do. But their purpose is to be done over time, not to be done in a day. We just choose to do them in a day. Because we just want to get it over with. Hopefully, like, the last ones are not that bad, because those people are going to have a lot less time for getting that done. Wake up. Who gets my droid LST? I don't even think I have a character for my droid LST. He's trying to give Bit Dynasty. Speaking of, I'll talk on Bit Dynasty in a minute, but I don't even know if I have a droid character that is below relics right now. I just want to get the quest done. I have like 9 characters that are not at relics at the moment, and I think only one of them is a droid, and that's Imperial Probe Droid, but Imperial Probe Droid isn't eligible for the LST. I'll have to look. As for Bit Dynasty, I've been working with him on something. This guy, man, he is impressive. I was talking to him about the crystal calculator, and he just sent me a draft of a web-based version, a non-spreadsheet version of my crystal calculator. And he's done some impressive work. It is not done in any means, but this guy, he knows his shit. Yeah, I'm out of Zetas. I have no more Zetas left. I have every Zeta in the game. That was my goal for 2025, and I hit it in 2026. Now we get to get on top of those Omicrons, but all of the Omicrons I have a ton of them, and a lot of them are TW. And I think that Omicrons are coming out at a rate that is faster than I'm actually getting them, so, you know, it is what it is. Morning, Slap. Oh, welcome back to Brunch.
My goodness, your skills are quite
Can I don't have a lot of Omicrons. Zetas, I wish I could donate Zetas, man. I've got like 350 Zeta materials. Omicrons, I have a lot of TW ones left. I have a few other ones that I'd like to get, but nothing seriously pressing. Marak is a good shout one, too. Well, we don't really know with Conquest, right? Like, what Conquest update? The way that they changed data disks just slightly, and gave us the feat data disk. It's still, Relic Delta is still not in Conquest, so like the Conquest, nothing really has changed in Conquest. One thing I will say, and I was talking to Sin about this last week, and they brought up a good point, and I had been thinking about this for a while, but the feat data disk, if you go on Discord or you go on Reddit, you will constantly see people asking, why can't I kill things? Why can't I do this? Why are enemies not dying? And in my head, if a fix solves a problem, but it solves a problem in a way that the players are not understanding solving the problem, then it's not a good fix. And I know you can just read and like we know it and we read it, but like if people are coming into Conquest on their first Conquest, their second Conquest, their third Conquest as newer or mid-game players and they're not understanding what's happening with that data disk, the fix is not super great. But right now, Conquest is really in the same spot it's always been in. Oh, I think I still... Actually, this is a good test, because I think I still get to all droids if the ally is not a droid. Yeah, but, I mean, the feat data disk right now is not a necessity because Relic Delta is not in Conquest yet. And I have not found that I've needed to use it. Will I need to use it when Relic Delta is in Conquest? Probably. I don't like the idea of having to waste 7 energy to use it, but it is what it is. You know, 7 energy is not a lot, but it's, you know, annoying. Somebody with an AoE. I guess we are going to just do them all now. Or most of them now. People logging in right now are confused. They're like, why is Egnards doing these stupid battles? But that's okay, because Egnards is not a smart man. The new disc that prevents allies from taking damage before their first turn. I have not found the disc yet, but I like the disc. Because if you're doing a survival feat with a character who is really shitty, it's going to really help you to keep that character alive. You find no difference with Relic Delta because you don't have Relic Delta in Conquest yet. Relic Delta is not active in this Conquest cycle. We assumed it would be. Then CG told us that they didn't. And I think that they were testing the feat data disk and they were testing all these new data disks and they decided to keep it closed for the entire cycle. But right now it's not on. Oh, well, so here's the thing. I'm at 14.4, I think. And I've definitely noticed Relic Delta in battles where... Well, here's a good example. Everybody brings their Lord Vader team to Relic 9. Most people keep their Bo-Katan Mandalore team at Relic 7. And previously to the Uber set that came out, Bo-Katan was still countering Lord Vader with the clones, Relic 9 to Relic 7. Not 100%, but still pretty good percentages, 60 to 70%. Relic Delta made that 2 relic difference for Lord Vader versus Bo-Katan almost impossible. And it's fine. I don't hate Relic Delta. I now, having played with it more and seeing its effects are not egregious, I do understand its purpose, and I do see how it pushes us to do our rosters and build our rosters, and I know that there's growing pains from it. Brish, the problem with RD and Conquest is that they are changing, and this is a positive change, but they are changing the relic level of characters to Relic 4 in Sector 1 and Relic 5 in all the other sectors, which I actually think they already did. But that is going to make it a lot harder for players in the end game when you are trying to farm feats and your characters are killing other characters so much quicker. So think about like Padawan Obi-Wan with his Omicron. right? Like, you're going to try to kill things and they're just going to die.
My goodness.
Do you know if the stats have been adjusted as Conquest should be when Relic Delta is active? I don't know. I don't know if the stats were already adjusted because I think they already changed the relic levels, right? I'm pretty sure that already happened. I guess I might as well just do a mod battle. Just because... That's my 20th one. Is it time to jump ship from the game? I honestly don't think so. So, I did a video on the numbers. Arnold did a video on the numbers. Scribe did a video on the numbers. Nooch did a video on the numbers yesterday. And I didn't watch his video, but I know he tagged all of us and he put all of our video links in his video and he talked about everything. And I was reading the comments on his video yesterday. And again, I don't know what Nooch said. I don't know what Scribe said. I don't know what Arnold said. But I think that a lot of people at least are misunderstanding my point about the numbers right now in terms of revenue. I'm not saying that the game is dying, and I do not think that the game is dying at all. My revenue projections right now put the game, if we were to just use raw, very quick math, the active player base was somewhere around 360 to 370,000 players. In the era of anniversaries, it was around 550,000 players. In the era of Andor, it seems to be somewhere around 415 to 430,000 players. And there are a lot of people who are going to say, oh, the player base is dying, even though it jumped and now it died again. That's just not what it is. What's happening is that CG put in a ton of advertising effort and people came in and they joined the game and they tried the game and they just didn't like it. And that's actually very normal. If you look at like numbers for mobile games in general, about 5% of players continue playing a mobile game after 30 days. Oh, I do have one. Look at this. IG86. So I don't think that the game is dying. I'm not jumping ship. I enjoy the game. This is why I've been saying that the game is not bleeding players. It's bleeding veterans. Veterans are seeing a huge amount of fatigue because the systems that they are used to, the systems that they have interacted with are changing and they don't like it. And I don't blame them for not liking it at all. I understand why they don't like it at all. It makes sense. But a lot of the changes in the game, good or bad, especially the obfuscation of prices in Coliseum, that's shit. That is complete shit. It is the worst shit in the world, and screw CG for that. But the way that eras work and the way that Coliseums work as an idea, not in practice, but as an idea, is very smart because it helps with the longevity of the game. Allowing players that are newer to the game to experience new content while still working on their old content. It is a super, super smart tactic of theirs. And it's going to make the game last a lot longer. But in practice, they did it in a lot of scummy ways. And I don't like the scummy ways in which they did it. You know, it's funny, Slapocalypse, is that I'm the exact opposite. Because of the datacron changes, I have super deprioritized my GAC. And I'm going all in on, what time is it? I'm going all in on PvE right now. And a lot of my guild has done the same thing. And, you know, my guild has lost players just like a lot of other guilds have. But we've lost 2 players. And I have made sure to really stay on top of recruiting to be able to continue that. It is TW Hero Day It looks like the TW hero is coming out. That means that we just throw shit at the wall and we see what sticks. So let's get in here and see what happens. Hey, Nee. Good morning. You know, with Rise and everything, I don't super love having to play the same battles in Rise of the Empire over and over and over again. I'm going to be doing a video tomorrow talking about an easier solution to that. But I also do 90% of my battles on auto. So it does bother me that my phone is, you know, indisposed during that time. But I'm not actively playing at that same time. You're gonna be recruiting you soon, Snorlax? You know, hey, maybe. Sin is in my guild, the SIN Sin, you know, and he's one of my members that that started fairly recently. The Ding Dong in our guild is another, you know, Egnards member that grew up with me helping him, and now he's in the end game. So it is very, very likely. Speaking of Era and Coliseum, is it still worthwhile waiting before collecting the Era track rewards if we don't buy the pass? I don't understand. Why would you wait to buy? Why would you ever wait? I want to get all my NS to R9 too. But right now, I'm on the BKM. That they deserve. I don't want to be the one that they deserve. I want to be the one that they need right now. You know, it depends, Pluto. If you feel like your guild is dying, I think a guild dying can be a lot of things. And yes, there is a lot of veteran retention going on right now. But a good guild has a good officer corps, and a good officer corps is going to make sure that they stay on top of those things. You know, even before streaming, I have been recruiting for my guild for 5 years now. I've only been streaming for 2 of those years. And I've seen times in the game where people thought that the world was going to end. The GAC changes, when they changed GAC, everybody thought that the game was going to die right then and there. It was all about staying on top of your recruiting and being active in it. And if your guild core is just like sitting around waiting for recruits, then they are going to die. You know, then they're not going to do well, and players would do well to put themselves in a position where they are in a guild that is working for them. Wasn't there an adjustment to era currency as time goes by, or was it just along the track itself? So that was each episode. So episode 1 was 2,000, episode 2 was 7,500, episode 3 was like 17,000. I don't know if they ever intentionally changed that in the middle. I say intentionally because they accidentally did it last time and lowered it back to 2,000. Yeah, so, you know, if you're not in a global guild, you are going to find yourself having a lot of trouble because you are significantly limiting the people that can be in your guild. My guild's got people literally all over the world. We've got people in Japan. We have people in I think in the Dominican Republic, we have people in Germany, we have people in France, we have people in Spain now. Yeah, Zap, this has been my thing forever, man, is CG's communication. You know, and I've said this, I don't blame Meathead. I don't know what he's allowed to say. I don't know what his posts look like before he posts them. They could go through 8 levels of review for all I know. But there are a lot of times where I will have a conversation with Meathead and I'll ask for clarification. And I will say to him, you know, players need to know this. And then there'll be a forum post. Do I have people from Portugal? Not that I know of. I really, really strongly believe that they need to beef up the communication. And I've said to him, I've joked, I've said this in videos, like, send me the post a week ahead of time and I will ask you all of the questions that players are going to ask so that you can say, hey, we need to do this thing or we need to write this thing or whatever else. Because you are so very right about that. Like the communication and, you know, the change in era battles without like telling us. There are some people that probably got screwed because they're not on Discord. They're not on Reddit. They're not, you know, they don't follow me or Scribe because we were the 2 people that got that out ahead of time. Yeah, when we're down 2, honey, I get nervous. And every good guild should have a few alternate accounts that they can bring in, you know, just in case something happens. I've had to do it in the past. We will bring in like a couple of alts that we have while we try to find people. It's just, that is the game right now. It's actually been the game all the time. I find it easier to recruit now just because I have a public facing persona. It gets the word out a little bit easier. We're going to take out this whole wall. I don't even think I need a datacron for this team. Being a guild leader, being a guild officer, it's one of those things that, you know, I joke about how I would never do it again. But anytime I play another game for a short amount of time, I always end up as an officer. Most people who want to be an officer, they make really, really terrible officers because they think, like, you have power, and that's stupid. It's a dumb game. Most of the time, it's the people that really hate the idea of being an officer, but because they understand, right? If you hate the idea of being an officer, you understand the work that it takes to be a good officer. Down 2. We're not down 2 now. We're back up to 50. We're going into Rise at full strength. TW Hero's coming out. He's here. He's here. Oh, sorry in advance. My bad. That was a bad one. I come in at the last minute and I make it look like I did something in TB or TW. I don't even know what game mode I'm playing. It is. It's so much time and it's so much effort. And I don't blame people for saying no. And if I ask somebody to be an officer, I usually am like, look, I know you're going to hate the idea. I actually need to look into a new officer for our guild because Moonborn left. Moonborn quit the game. And he was kind of like our overnight officer. He didn't have any duties. He didn't have any, like, game mode that he had to worry about. His only job was if there was a tag in the middle of the night that he would do that tag because it was not the middle of the night for him. So I need to find another one of those. Morning, James. should probably put it on auto basic, otherwise he's gonna keep losing TM. Good thing I paid attention to that. I don't know if I've ever really enjoyed being an officer. I just understand that I'm good at communicating with people. So I've enjoyed the logistics of it, I guess. If that makes sense in any meaningful way. Now we have regular damage immunity. Let's see what? I don't even know if this works. But it doesn't matter. TW hero does not question the battles that he does. You just do them. Ugh. Oh, man. Still got a little bit of a flurry. I think there are a lot of things that CG can do to kind of change things for the veteran player. And I've tried to be on top of them as much as I can. I send stuff to Meathead all the time. I know that my stuff gets passed along, but I also know that there are, 30 people working there, and there's 3 people whose job is specifically just to make sure everybody's spending. So who knows what actually happens. Xander, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, it's so hard sometimes to herd the cats, right? And, like, my guild is all adults, and there are a couple people who I'll have to remind 18 times to get their shit done. We've been playing this game for 10 years, guys. Like, get your shit together. And I understand emergencies happen. They happen to everybody. I get it. That's typically why I try to get things done literally right away, so I don't have to worry about that. But it's not an emergency when it happens every single event. Grab your coffee, grab your crystals, gather round. Set a gear 8 Ewok team. That's fucking great. Just having gear 8 Ewoks is actually great to me, if we're completely honest. Just the idea of that. Move this over here. Oh shit. Is JML gonna lose? Let's see if I can save this. I don't know if I'm gonna save this. Damn. Oh, fuck you. Oh, hey, maybe we can save this. Probably not. We're probably not saving it. Maybe we can. I've always likened it to, and I've said this before, to the show Mythic Quest, which I really, really enjoy and I recommend to people. Meathead is that girl from customer service who's like in the basement and is trying to explain to people like why the players are mad, but nobody cares because they're making money hand over fist. It's okay, Zap. We saved it. All that's important is that we saved it. Actually, high protection. Let's do something. High protection. What do I think about Maul, the Mandalorian one? I mean, what do you like? He's good. I use him with my Seer Malicos team. He's definitely, I mean, not as fresh and shiny as he used to be when we first got him, but great character. Is that show on a paid streaming platform? It is on Apple TV. Yeah. A distinction between saved and got lucky? No, there is not. The TW hero sometimes gets lucky, and that's okay. The TW hero is working his way through this endless wall. We are getting there. Like, the TW hero makes his own luck. We could do a whole show on the TW hero. Needs a theme song. I was thinking that this morning, is that TW hero needs a theme song. But I don't want to ask Moonborn to have to do a brunch intro for a bit that we do. I don't even know, once a month, maybe, if we get lucky. Because I can't predict when TW hero happens. Star Killer. Jedi. We need a Jedi. Let's use Bastilla. I don't have Juhani's Omicron. This on. Yeah, Bane works just fine in TW. Just not. You can't use him against everything. Got him to do one so you could kick someone from the guild. That's true. We did get him to do one just to kick somebody from the guild. But that was more of a joke, and then he was like, hold on, I have an hour. Give me some time. Oh, God. We did get it. Literally just to boot somebody from the guild for cheating. What an ass. But he also didn't have to start from scratch. A lot of the assets were already there. I don't know if this is going to work, but I want to do it. Let's find out. I don't have any TW Omicrons on my Wookiees or anything. Okay, good. We got rid of it. And I mean, it looks like they're going to. Should probably hit that droid deca to get rid of his, there we go. I've been loving this team. I really enjoy the Wookiee team. It's just silly, it's dumb, it's stupid. I am a fan. Somebody's right now trying to out TW Hero, the TW Hero. Oh, I already used the ALO one. It was nice. I made it easy. just one asset the entire time, no other visuals. That would be a great way to convince him. Like, Moonborn, you don't have to do anything. You can't out-hero the hero. Come on, Z-Dad. Don't even try. You're embarrassing yourself. Jocasta's coming in hot. Yeah, let's go. Take your turn. There it is. Now we're back to regular damage immunity. And gone. What do I have left? Oh, Balin. Let's do Balin. Mercenary. Let's do I have Dengar in here? Dengar. I like Kira in this team. Where is my Kira? Oh, there she is. We'll put on Datacron for this one. Oh, I don't know if this team is going to do it. I think the TM train might be too strong here. Okay. Maybe we're okay. Maybe we're gonna survive. I didn't think that team was gonna win. Good job, Balin. Balin out loud. Look at this. Z-Dad's trying really hard to stay up with me. Now, I do not have the Omicrons for this team, so I really do not know if this is going to work. Especially on auto. Have I tried telling him that it's illegal to beat the TW hero? could try. If I wanted to go onto Guild Discord and message him and be like, hey man, you're making me look bad. I actually don't know what his score is right now. So maybe he's not even making me look bad. Maybe he's embarrassing himself for all we know. Balin is one of my favorite teams. Other people really don't like him. But I enjoy the team a lot. Let's see. My God, I don't think I've done this much TW heroing in a very long time. Inquisitors here. I don't know. I'm assuming they have a healer cron to get rid of their healing. I don't even know if this is gonna work. I might just get wrecked. I think, you know, a lot of teams now, Zap, it comes down to, like, what are they good against and what are they not good against? Because I'm going to be completely honest with you. I do not read kits at all. Like, at all. The kits are just... The kits are too complicated at this point where I just... Oh, why did I put Ninth Sister in this team? They're too complicated at this point where I just can't... I can't figure the shit out. So I just kind of learn what they're good at and what they're not good at, and I hope for the best. This here. Want to kill Poggle. Just so we can get this out of the way. Let's go after Soldier next. Okay, I guess we're going after Brute next because he's got the taunt back. Marak hits, he is nasty in a Balin team. And if you get the right TM to work out, like, you can do some really, really silly things with the team. But it is true that the things that he's bad against fighting, he is just so exceptionally bad at fighting. And they will get smacked around. So that's number one. It's going to be more of a time issue than anything else. Okay, there we go. Now we're good. We got Brute Alpha down. We're fine. We got this. Okay, what's this wall looking like? There's 3 more teams. Can I be part of finishing this wall? What about the new Vader team? Let's just try the new Vader team. I do have the datacron, but I don't have it fully maxed out. Where is Papa? Papa? There's Papa, Mara Jade, who I have, Vader. We want Royal Guard, and then we want Tarkin, I believe. No idea if this will work. Should be fine, though. This is just a GG team. We got plenty of TM rolling. Maybe not fine. Or maybe. Just need that droideka to get its shit together. Not clean. Probably gonna have to do auto basic here. Get its turn meter up. Let's go, droideka. Have you guys ever seen TW play this impressive? Like, I know Songjita is like great at TW and shit, but like, have you ever seen somebody play this well in their TWs? Do where are they? Imperial Remnant 2. Don't have Dark Trooper mode. Oh, but they're not high enough level. What does it need to be above Relic 6? Do I have any other? No, I can't even use his fucking level 9 because now everybody needs to be a level 6, which means I need to get Moff Gideon up. You've never seen someone play TW? Well, you definitely have because you've been on my streams before. He's no TW hero. This might be the last TW hero battle I think I have in me. I don't really have much left. I think I am going to start calling him Philip. Because if he's going to do Zeta Protocol, I need to give him a better name than Fat Phil. And I think he needs to be more classy. So I think we're going to start calling him that. What's up, M3? TW Hero is out to play today. We're out here making sure that I look good to my guild in TW. Unless there's like Ewoks behind this. If there's Ewoks behind this, maybe we have a few more in us. Seer Malicos, no. Treya. Let's just do Treya. Let's see what happens. King Philip, Sir Philip, or no, just fancier than that Phil. King Philip. Call him the portly Philip. One down. Fill up my Wampa. That's the problem, is that he won't. And I've told you, he keeps sending me mod suggestions for my roster. And I told him I'm not taking a single suggestion from him until he has an R10 Wampa. And it gets him very mad. He'll be like, this mod you have on this character hurts my eyes. And I will be like, I don't care. Get your R10 Wampa. That hurts my eyes. How did we do? 19 batters. We have dropped. We took down this whole wall basically on our own. Nobody else helped me at all. Total banners are a little bit low. Oh, fucking Yawn. Yawn is coming at me hot. I can't let him beat me here. Did I use Chupio? No, I didn't. You have no Relic 10s? No. You need a Relic 10. Do a fun project for your Relic 10. That's the whole purpose. Have a fun Relic 10.
Dear. Mine. Mine. Dear. Dear. Mine.
His recruiter. His recruiter was getting mad. Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. What do we got left? These guys. Okay. I have a feeling these guys will beat them, even though I can't use the full breadth of this datacron right now. So I've said this before, Zap, and I'll say it again. I feel like CG gives us, if you're not in a position to get Relic 10 fast, when the first Relic 10 requirement comes out, you will not be in a position to get that character right away. And you will have plenty of time to get that Relic 10 before you need it. Which is why I tell everybody not to save it. You know, is to just have their one that is fun. We gotta make sure that we're on top of Yawn. We can't let Yawn be the top spot. Mandalorians. I didn't even realize I had the Mandalorians left. Always the top when it matters. Only when it matters. I don't even know what this team is. Bounty hunters. We could do Boba. You have a Bobacron, Zam Boba. I already used Dengar somewhere else. Let's just use Aura Sing for the hell of it. This is the most time I have spent on any TW. Literally ever. I have never spent this much time on a single TW. God, she takes so many fucking turns. Stupid. Thank you. Rogue One? Alright, we could try it. Just putting random datacrons on these guys now. It's always when Mama Egg is away. When it gets into the summer, she's probably going to have to start traveling again more. So, you know, you never know. I don't think you're going to see a high ROI event like that again. And look at these new era battles in terms of the half ROI. Obviously, the tier 7 on the dark side one it was really nice return wise. I was able to do it with just Spider Maul and everybody else at Relic 2, but beyond that, it did take a lot of investment, especially for the light side one. Do I have anything else, or are we moving on from TW? I have Afra. Afra. You're gonna do the R10 on Leviathan just to fuck with the rest of your fleet squad for being assholes. Yeah, you're not getting any more ABs. That's the whole purpose of era battles. Walmart parking lot. No, this summer I'll do Conquest for people. That's how I'm gonna make my bank this summer while I'm not working. Anything else we got? Why give us permanent? Exactly, Adis. That's exactly what's happening right now. And I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it because as long as I know what's happening, I am happy to do whatever. I haven't used this team in a while. I don't know. That's our team, sure. Just see what happens. Throwing in his R9 Chewbacca trying to get me. It's not happening, man. Come on. All right. I think TW Hero is all TW Heroed out. We've done all of the TW Heroing that a TW Hero can possibly do at this point. I don't think okay. I lied. We have Maz. Let's just throw random pirates with Maz. This will be our last TW Hero battle. And we're only going to get it 19 banners because Hondo's going to die. You saw a screenshot with the live. Live from New Jersey, it's Egnards stream. Featuring Ego Odom, Andrew Desmukes, all right, we should be in first place now. We have a nice healthy lead here from setting attacks. My offense score is 552 banners. Yawn's score is 409. I mean, Yawn could come in right now and do some more battles, of course, if he wanted to, and I would not blame him if he did. But I'm out of anything interesting to play with. So I think we are TW Heroed out. Got our next day's worth of stuff. Anything good here? That I want. All useless shit. Okay. My goal is that I can get to this level 15 bonus. That's really my hope, is that as long as I can get this, I'm happy. Which I think we will be okay on. But it is time for us to hit Conquest. And then we have our reviews. It is 1:14. Not that anybody cares, because it's just fucking Conquest. We're going to try to burn through this fast without, of course, without using sim. We're just going to burn through. Boom. See? I can TW hero. I can Conquest hero. Egnards is a multi-talented individual that can do almost anything except for code a website, apparently. Not apparently. Definitely. Fuck you, Xander. Just fuck you. Is there any benefit to you for not simming them? I get about 20 minutes worth of extra content where I can talk to people. That's it. There's no other benefit to not simming them. That's the only reason why I do it. Every other day of the week, I don't sim it. Or I do sim it, rather. And 90% of the women of the comments are women asking for privacy. My first thought, M3, is when you said that, I was like, well, wait, is it like an animal or is it like older women looking for college kids? Zap, I have 2 roster reviews for today, which means next week, you know, I will have none on the docket. But at the same time, listen, man, you know the drill. I do them for tips, and I don't have any actual expectation of being paid for a roster review. There's no reason to feel guilty about asking for roster advice if you don't have a means to pay for it, because that's a service that I provide. But you can always get that information from me, and in the future you have $5 and you go, hey man, here's a beer, and it doesn't have to be in terms of at the same time. I talk through roster reviews. No, I do my roster reviews through ASL. M3 bought me wings from Domino's one night. Yeah, when my wife was not... Actually, they weren't wings. They're chicken kickers. They're different because they're boneless, and I like them specifically because they're plain. They're not terrible for you. And... they're not terrible for you, and I love their hot sauce. Their hot sauce is not super hot. It's basically Frank's Red Hot sauce, but it's just a little bit thicker. And I remember, right, you had sent me a few bucks that night after I had paid for the wings, and I was like, oh, this pays for the delivery fee. Because I didn't want to get out of my house. I hate paying delivery fees. See, we're going through this fast. This was a fun one to do last time. And, Barris, right? Is that beers, Jeremy? Because literally, I cannot have one. I have said to myself, I'm gonna limit myself to just one. Just because it's harder to keep the weight off as you get older, and I can't do it. I literally can't do it. All the way to 0. It was beautiful. I don't remember if I used this exact team, though, Barris and Visas. But it was, we dropped them all the way down. team just does so well in Conquest. Expensive team, but it does so well. Happy Sunday, man. Thank you for joining us. It's, yep, still snowing outside. Doesn't matter. Still going to the movies later once we're done. Enjoy the rest of your day. Oh, hi, Mark. Those of you old enough. I know. Look, I know that physically I look beautiful. But I am 20 pounds over the weight that I normally sit at, just from getting older and being more sedentary on being on my computer more. So I'm trying to be more cognizant of what I eat and drink to bring myself down, back down to where I used to sit at a beautiful 160. I am also somebody that if there is food in my house, I will eat it, and I will eat all of it. And I will have no regrets until the next day. Go. Almost done with Conquest. Oh my God. And then we got to talk, right? Then we got to do the reviews. Then we got to get through all that stuff. So if anyone has any burning questions over the next couple minutes, these are your times to ask them. And when I say burning questions, I don't mean syphilitic questions. Yogurts are for the hangovers. Chobani key lime pie yogurt. Breakfast of champions. I think we could bring this team all the way down to 0 again. I don't know if I want to, because then the battles get slower, but I think we could. Let these guys go. Oof. Hot, fat, or naked flame for best scars? I don't... What? Hot, fat, or scorched flame for best scars? What the fuck does that mean? I don't even... Xander, I don't even understand. Now, key lime pie, I will kill a man. What does that mean? Wait, what is the reference that I'm missing here? How do I stop my sourdough bread from getting a scorched bottom? God, I'm not a bread influencer. My Baker Mayfield. Come on. God damn. I've never made a sourdough. I've made a focaccia before during COVID when we were all making bread and bored. Why have CG not included Conquest and TB unlocked units in the LSTs? Because they want you to spend on those characters. People go to Proving Grounds. People go to Proving Grounds and they refresh those characters. So why would they include characters that people will spend $10 a month refreshing to get those characters over the course of $100 when you could just buy a 5,000 currency LST? So it makes sense. TB tunes, they probably should include because they've made it so hard to get some of them, except for Riva. Riva should not be included in there. But the other ones, since it's so difficult just to be able to do that content anymore. Well, LSTs can give shards as well. Those LSTs also give shards. Now, not all LSTs give 7 stars, but some of them do give us 7 stars. Like Kyrotech one, for example, gives a 7-star, and that's only like $18. Jeremy, what I've been thinking about doing this next GAC for this next battle is just throwing my GAC, putting Rey with Ben on frontline, putting Ahsoka with Watt on frontline, and then putting Stranger, Starkiller, Maul, Ezra, and I don't know, some random Ufu in there on the back line just to see what happens, just to see if it works. Oh, I heard ships just opened up in TW. We might have to go back. Yeah, so for me, I think that that's why, you know, and I think that those characters tend to be more expensive gear-wise than traditional characters. Don't quote me on that. I don't really pay fully attention, but in terms of like Kyrotech and gearing, I do think it is a little bit more. But that's almost definitely why. Now, like Watt and IPD, you need to give us an easier way to get that, because it really sucks for newer players, and even newer guilds want to do Rise of the Empire really early. Now those players are stuck not getting Watt, stuck not getting IPD, who is now going to be more useful than ever. I definitely think CG needs to give us another way to get those a little bit easier. I'm holding out for a hero. Egg's gotta be brave and he's gotta be strong. Raid versus Rote. I would do Raid. Raid is definitely more important than Rote in terms of rewards. Now I think it's 5 stars in Rote, there's like an increase in the actual reward. So like the R9 material, the R8 material, something like that, every 5, every 6. But having really strong Rise of the Empire MK3 can super significantly help a player. Whereas 25 crystals, 50 crystals a day, or sorry, per event is not really that big of a deal. You obviously don't want to be in a guild maxing the raid, but doing like 25 stars in rote. But if a guild is doing 2 boxes over, but 4 stars under, I would probably go for that raid guild personally. Max box in the raid is a huge deal if you can get there. It really is. The amount of MK3 that I get, it has significantly helped me over this raid cycle. And I'm not looking forward to the next raid cycle where it's probably going to be harder. I don't really have a ton that I can do here, but want to make sure to keep the TW hero going. Then we'll get into reviews. No, I should have hit punishing one. Like a dumbass. So much bonus protection. Welcome to the club, Ani. You know how that works. It is ridiculous that we have to pull teeth to get people to do their own damn raid runs. I think an R10 tier will be a lot harder for people to stomach for the raid if they do add one Zavor. Just because R9 at the very least, you could say, hey, you know what? Rise of the Empire. If you're in an endgame guild, you want to go for Rise of the Empire. There's a two-way street there. With R10, there's no other increase, and I feel like that could significantly piss off players. Another egg draws. Egg draws fully depends on when we get done today because we are going to a movie today. I know everybody loves egg draws. Egg draws is actually the most taxing thing that I do. Mentally, it is so draining to do egg draws. Because I recognize that I am not the greatest artist in the world and trying to put these things together is super hard. I know it's enjoyable. Everybody loves it. Yes. Hermaine Cocaine, you are correct. But the reality is, and something that players need to remember, is that that was not intentional. Right? All of those undermans, remember, CG released a statement being like, hey, we're looking into this. We don't really like this. And they eventually decided we're not going to make any changes. And when they released that post, I'm sure he doesn't just talk to me, right? I'm sure he reached out to other people too. But me had reached out to me and said, hey, what's your thoughts? Like, what are your thoughts on this situation going on right now with it? And I had said to him, look, man, if you make changes, the players are going to flip out because they've already invested in some of these teams. You need to take the L on this one. And they did. They took the loss. And I do not think... I do not think that we will see the next raid be as forgiving. I think so too, Adis. I think they're going to completely get rid of undermans. Else easy we could take on. No? Okay, we're just going to leave it. I really think that we are just going to see 5-man teams for the new raid. And I have a feeling it's going to be interesting because it's going to obviously be era content, right? Just from how things have worked out now. And they've raised the way that you can get relics. So, you know, free-to-play players, I think, will be able to actually participate in the raid quicker and at higher levels than they were in the past. So like Order 66, outside of the teams where you were super undermans, players needed to like get those shards up in order to do more than 300,000. So I think that the majority of players, as long as you participate in eras, they're going to be doing 900,000 to 1.2 million per team, on top of hopefully having at least one old team. So I think that scores will overall average higher, but be harder to hit that max. Because you look at like my guild, and not everybody is a whale. There's maybe 5, 6, 7 people in there fully whaling on the era. We probably will drop a box short term, but the hope will be that we only drop that box for a short amount of time, and that would be the goal. We're going to see what happens with that raid. We still technically, we should have about 3 more months before we really necessarily have to worry about that. But I do think that players should be squirreling away some relic mats at this time before they start to get into that. When are we expecting new raid to drop? The summer. So the last raid dropped, it was either June or July. I think it was early July. And they basically said that it'll probably be a 1-year cadence. So, you know, we're probably looking sometime around July for the raid. We'll probably start getting actual raid info. I personally think we'll get raid info around the time that the era of Andor is over. So around the time this era shifts is probably when we're going to start getting news drops about the new raid. You know, maybe in like episode 3 of this is when we'll start to see that. You think the next... Well, remember, Zavor, pirates were not even available in Order 66, so it doesn't necessarily have to line up with the beginning of an era. Now, that's possible. It is very, very possible. But this raid was maxable before pirates, and pirates just made it a little bit easier. And I think that that's kind of where they're going with this. But it does make a strange point of like pirates came out, and once they came out, they were usable right away. Whereas in the new era system, they will not be usable right away, and you'll have to wait that 3 months. So we will see. With that said, I'm going to step away for 2 minutes. And in those 2 minutes, we're going to have our roster reviews and everything set up. So I will be right back.
Roster reviews. Egnards is having a break and taking a roster reviews. Talking to me that what pack sex should sell to you. Ooh, to you. To you.
All right, we are back. I got my water cup filled out so that my throat doesn't hurt from all of this talking. How does the line for roster reviews work? You just head over to Discord. There's a nice little area of Discord where you fill out a short little survey, and then you get added to the queue for roster reviews. And I do those reviews basically every Sunday, as long as I am available on that Sunday. We did Jedi for the last 2 raids, right? But remember that this next raid, it could just be OR. It could be Old Republic. Who knows? And we've had Old Republic in raids before, but that was 3 years ago. So who knows? We had 2 Conquest units in a row that were for the last raid. So I do think that it is very possible that we see her being in this raid. You're okay with her just being anti-Spidey? Well, it'd be nice if she had other things going on for her. Let's just fix this over here because, of course, I did not set this up ahead of time. There we go. Pop the game down. We don't need that up. You need Discord up, though. And we're going to go on over to the review requests. RTDS. I feel attacked in that cartoon roster review. The shady figure with a beard and bag of money is close to me personally, but sans the money. You know what, though? If you've ever seen Meathead, and he did a video in the Gungies last year, so you can see what Meathead looks like. He looks like that, too. He looks exactly like that. Is Meathead to a T. I'm going to say this is at 141 RTDS. He's already on our screen. I don't know if he's here or not. Top 20 of your fleet arena, mostly Leviathan, around 5 to 6 profundity executors here and there. Are you coordinating? No. Again, highly recommend it. I know that some of you guys are in fleet mafias, and it's tougher to coordinate with the mafias. But most shards, in my experience, are not mafias. Most shards, in my experience, are second to last here. Most shards, in my experience, are willing to help players out, so it does make sense to coordinate. Assault battles, all CT3 except Duel of the Fates. It says last tier completed, so that to me says that you have it. We'll have to look. Peridia Patrol, second to last tier completed, so probably R7. What are you currently working on? Currently getting Ahsoka to R9. Unsure if I should expedite my Bo-Katan Mandalore unlock since my Aegon Grogu is almost 7-star, and I can use my LST from Maul event on Paz Vizsla, or if I should wait for the Mandalorian LST. Unsure what else to farm after. Am thinking of maybe going for LV grind, then DS clones into Mace Windu, or to gear up in Relic DTMF and Dark Troopers. What's the optimal DTMF team for me to use, or if I should farm Leviathan? Also unsure if Dr. Aphra is a good and smart farm for me to go in. Are you dead set on continuing with the current farms? No, only finishing up the Ahsoka GL team. How highly do you value efficiency versus fun farms? Generally like more efficient farms, but we'll do fun farms once in a while. Are there any favorite characters you want to prioritize, even though you know it's probably not smart? No. Shards for any important Proving Grounds characters. Ezra will be unlocked. Strangers, not super close, but you'll get him soon enough. Jocasta, Maz, SM33. Raid, you're doing 900k, Order 66. Oh, TB, 3132. Currently have 2 7-star R6 LSTs from Maul event and have enough Era currency to buy 2 6-star R5 LSTs from Era shop. Also, currently on a bad Relic and G12 shortage due to Ahsoka grind recently being completed. However, I'm also on a Kairatech surplus around 1.2k before unlocking Ezra. Unsure of how good those teams I mentioned above are, so I'm not sure which to farm after completing Ahsoka. So we're at 9.6 million, and at that point, yes, I can still see you doing LSTs from the Coliseum. I personally would probably, in terms of using the different LSTs, is I would use the more limiting ones first and then level those characters up. So, for example, like... and I haven't looked at your roster yet, so I don't even know, but let's say Ig and Grogu, right? Who I know you said is almost 7 stars and it's been 10 days. Using one on Ig and Grogu that's like Mandalorian or whatever tags Ig and Grogu has, and then relicking him allows you to save the Maul ones for characters who you maybe don't have even at high stars. But also because they don't give Zetas, so you kind of want to put them on the characters that you'll need in the midterm, not necessarily the long term. Though I don't really think that there is a wrong way to go about using them as long as it contributes to an active farm that you are doing. Again, without looking at your account, the raid is almost over. LV clones into Mace Windu. Mace Windu sucks. He's got his uses. Like, he does have his uses, but he kind of sucks. He's not a priority. Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, right now he's got a datacron. He fucks with that datacron. I have my team at R8 for other reasons for TB, but he's not really a priority team, especially when you're still like catching up on other things. For the team, it depends on what your use is, and it depends on where you're going with it. But, you know, you're going to use Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. You're going to use Scout. You're going to use Moff Gideon. You're probably going to use Dark Trooper. If you're using a Great Mother's team, then you're going to throw Enoch in there as the 5th. You know, if you're not using, if you're using Enoch on his own team, depending on your relic levels, I sometimes just kind of throw Stormtrooper in there because I think Stormtrooper has that Imperial Remnant tag. And is not a terrible additional tank. It's a team that has a little bit of move around, but I would not recommend it as a priority team. Should you farm Leviathan? Probably yes. The best time to farm a fleet is when you don't necessarily need that fleet. The best time is when you can not have to 7-star it immediately, and you can sit there and each month collect your shards. Though I always recommend people refresh it at least once each month so that it doesn't take 2.5 years to get, and it only takes, you know, like a year and a half. And then you can always speed that up if you need it more in the future. But let's kind of take a look now. We are hitting in the top 10 at least. Collection 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7, so we're finishing up Ahsoka to R9. I want to check on this just because of the way that you wrote it. I want to make sure. Okay, so you do have this, and then let's see. Enoch and the boys are 7. Now your Duel of the Fates is already at R9. That's great. I think for where you are right now, Peridia Patrol at R9 is not super important. It is something that I fully and 100% think is useful to a player, but I don't think that it is a dire thing where you're really leaving too much on the table when there are other things in the game. Leviathan is important to refresh and get the higher stars. It depends. If you are able to get the first without it, sometimes those crystals are more important and are better used elsewhere. I got mine done in 3 months. You know, it depends on your shard. It depends on how much you care about GAC. There are a lot of variables in there on whether or not you want to refresh. It depends on what your crystal income is. You may have other things. Let's check out tools. No, not the gear. I always do that. I go to gear needed. Okay, so executor profundity, Afra. Afra's good. You know, I don't. How did you do on the era? Yeah, so like Afra's okay, but if you don't have Ig 90 at 7 stars and able to relic, it's still going to be a glass cannon team for you. I wouldn't call Afra a priority right now. Cal, it should be done. Leviathan, we're only 1,000 from. Bo-Katan, 440. Jar Jar, we already have. Ahsoka, Balin, Mr. Mace, Hondo. We have Jabba, we have all this. Don't have Rey, which is okay. She's great on defense, but her farm is kind of tough, specifically because it doesn't really lead into anything. I have a feeling you'll probably see that Lightspeed bundle come back around May the 4th, though. Lord Vader, we're far. Yeah. I would not. I love my clone team. I really love the Lord Vader clone team. I do, but you're so far away from it, and you're going to miss out on a lot of the reasons that make it such a strong farm right now. I think, honestly, and I just think that modding is so important that it makes more sense for you to work towards Hondo than it makes sense for you to work towards Lord Vader. I would definitely finish up Ahsoka to R9 because of her resource event. It's super important. But I would stay away from the LV grind for right now. I would stay away from the Mace Windu grind for right now. I would be starting on the Leviathan grind, and I would be starting on the Hondo grind, if nothing else. Right? So Leviathan, Sorty's at 6 stars. Everybody else is at 7 stars. What are our ships looking like? Oh, I'm in characters. That's dumb. Got Malgus. Have Fury class. Mark Interceptors at 5 stars. That, I believe, is a Cantina farm, which sucks, but, you got to do what you got to do. Sith Fighter is at 6 stars. What is the other one? The fucking tank. Bomber is at 7 stars. I'm excited for SR3 to launch too. I'm super, super, super excited for that. But all of that is to say that even though you're going to have to cut off your Cantina farming a little bit in order to do this, I do think it is worth it. You can start. Bo-Katan's still worth it, but I would not. I don't think I would expedite the Bo-Katan farm. Well, what do you got here? I think I'd almost rather, instead of expediting the Bo-Katan farm, I would almost rather try. Yeah, well, because Paz Vizsla, you're going to use your Mandalorian token there, right? Use the Mandalorian token here and then level them up normally. I would use some of that Kyber, some of those like Kyber 6 things on my Leviathan farm instead, because you're going to get more use out of gear and relicking in terms of getting these characters up. Sith Assassin is a Cantina farm, I believe. Let's check. Yeah. So Sith Assassin would be a really good one for one of those. Well, is she on the same one as her node? Let me see. As her ship? Just looking at the game right now. Ships, Sith Fighter. There's Sith Fighter, Sith Fighter. She is. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And that's at 6. So maybe don't do it on Sith Assassin because you're gonna have to do the Sith Fighter anyway. But I think I would use the Kyber tokens here because you'll get more relic benefit overall. I would be finishing Bo-Katan, not expediting it, starting towards Leviathan personally. I think that is one of the most important things you could do. And then I would be slow farming, right now, slow farming towards getting to Hondo, right? So slow farming is taking those characters. I don't think it makes sense to do all of these characters at once, But while you're still 2 farms behind, start getting some shards for like 3 or 4 of these characters, 5 shards a day. And as you start to finish up, as you start to get to the middle of the Leviathan farm, you can start adding some more of those farms into there, and speeding up some of the other ones. So many Cantina. PKHO has a lot of fleet farms in there, is what he has. But I think that that's the smarter route for you, is finish Bo-Katan, don't speed it up. Start to speed up the Leviathan and work towards Hondo. Hondo is for modding. You need the modding. It's very, very important. Bo-Katan is a guild thing. It's also a very good team overall. Leviathan as a fleet is just more important than anything else that you have isolated for in the game right now. When it comes to Lord Vader, you know, maybe we talk about doing something with Lord Vader later, because you have to get, I believe gas is, well, yours is actually already R8, so it doesn't even matter. Lord Vader, I think, is more of an opportunity time thing later on. Maybe you start burning some Lightspeed tokens towards him later on, but you're just getting a good team out of it. You're not getting a super, super solid like return on your investment. You're not getting anything that works towards anything else. And honestly, we're in March now. Nobody gives a shit about upping your Order 66 score. If your guild has not if your guild hasn't yelled at you about your score already, and hasn't like told you need to raise your score by now, there's no reason to raise your score anymore. It just doesn't make sense. You're not going to get any return on it. It's unlikely to fundamentally help your guild in any meaningful way. So that is what I would do. I'd completely change that farming plan. And then we have a feral platypus here. Feral platypus. I've seen you before around. You've chatted a bit. Let's see. We've got a feral platypus. This was only a couple of days ago. We're at 156.00. Let's take a look at this next one. Type of review. I mainly want a priority list for R8 and R9 tunes. Do I relic certain tunes or start relicking GL teams? I have most things unlocked and usable. I have pushed tunes relics higher to complete more rote missions. Mainly just looking to push higher relics on good tunes and would like some good suggestions, please. All final tiers except Peridia Patrol. Look, if you're at the part of the game where you think you're at right now, do Peridia Patrol, because they're also a really good Rise of the Empire team too. Currently working on nothing. Bit lost. All GLs unlocked. All journey characters unlocked. Spider Mole is R5. Proving Grounds. I have all Proving Grounds unlocked. Guild, 245 crate. Personal, 15.30. 34 stars. Zepho Mandalore. Okay. I mean, it sounds like you're in a guild way above or way below your means, and you probably want to find a new guild personally, but I'm not going to harp on that. I'm assuming you're somewhere around like 13.5 million. Australian Commandos. Is this Aussie Mike's Guild? If this is Aussie Mike's Guild, then I change my mind, and I don't want you to leave because I don't want Aussie Mike mad at me. No. Maybe he's in Commandos B, or he switched skills. I don't know. What is our GP? 13.5 exactly on the dot. Perfect. So we have all these journeys done, right? We're just going to confirm this. Everything is done. All right. Wrote SMs. We're able to do all of them except Kessel. I'm not doing Kessel yet either. Vandor. Good. Collection. Okay. I know people hate me for this, and they're like, they joke about Peridia Patrol, but at your level of the game, it's ridiculous not to have Peridia Patrol done. If you bring Enoch, Death Trooper, and Death Trooper Peridia, and Night Trooper to Relic 9. Then you take Dark Trooper Moff Gideon to Relic 8 and Scout Trooper to Relic 8. That gives you a Mandalore team for the Dark Trooper Moff Gideon node. And most guilds do Mandalore in multiple days. So that's like 2 days worth of waves for you. But it's also return on investment from getting the materials from the R9 material, that R9 event. So for somebody like you, that is a pretty high value team, is being able to do that. Also, for somebody like you want to look at cohesive teams now. So as somebody who is looking to do Rise of the Emperor and try to build those teams out, you want teams that that are going to work in higher level CMs. Pretty Patrol versus Duel of the Fates. Duel of the Fates is better. It's better leaps and bounds, but it's not really. I mean, he already has that, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, Duel of Fates is usually first. So I don't know. Like, I don't know. The problem is I don't know what combats you're doing versus not doing. But on the Jabba the Hutt combat, Jabba, Kursatan, Bosch, Boba, you're probably throwing in just a random in there. I would be bringing Skiff up as well and bringing him to R8 to be able to more accurately do that Jabba the Hutt node. Your Inquisitors are really, really good Rise of the Empire team. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 5 at Relic 8, so you don't need any more at Relic 8, so that's perfect. Let's check out that Jedi Vanguard. You have Depa, Jedi Master Mace, Temple Guard. You know, not for the raid. Especially having the Depa Omicron, I am a firm believer that if you Omicron a character for Rise of the Empire, you should be willing to bring that team to Relic 9. You know, so this is a team, when you talk about Jedi Master Mace, Depa, Temple Guard, Jocasta Nu, most people will tell you Ayla Sakura as your 5th. I have Plo Koon just because he was a higher Relic level, but Ayla is the better 5th. Bringing those characters to I9 also gives you a Ring of Kafrene team, and that Ring of Kafrene team will win even with 0 platoons, right? So we talk about Jedi Vanguard. That's a really good team for you, for the reasons that you want and for what you're isolating right now. Galactic Republic. It looks like we have... It looks like we have a pretty decent R8 core here. A lot of people like the Queen Amidala at R9 team. I have had mixed success with it personally. I've heard that with gas in that team, so like Queen Amidala, Qui-Gon, Padme, General Kenobi, and gas, it seems to be more reliable. I don't have that much experience with it. Your Vader team is R9. Do you have Vader at R9? Lord Vader should be Relic 9. I mean, that's another easy combat for you when we're talking about like getting into higher tiers of Rise of the Empire. And Lord Vader is a ramping GL. So him ramping around all of his allies and being able to build up from all of his allies is a fundamentally super important part of his kit. So that is one character that is going to help you. And I recognize that your guild is only doing 34 stars, so you might only be seeing like the R8 planets right now. But you are going to start getting into those R9 planets. And again, personally, I think you should be in a higher guild anyway. Spectre. 1, 2. This is another great team to bring to at least R8, right? Syndulla, Huyang, Padawan Sabine, not Sabine. They work really well in ROTE. super, super well to be able to complete missions. I'd like the team take the full team to R9. It's just not in the cards for me right now, right? But basically, you're looking to finish up teams. You're looking to take teams and say, how can I make these characters do more for me? C, Sith Eternal Emperor on Haven class does super well. You put a bunch of Sith with him, a few Sith tanks. You could use Watt. I don't use Watt. I don't have my Watt at Relic 8. I just throw him with Relic random Sith. You know, and if you throw him with Malik and Malgus and like Treya, who I know is R7 right now, and even Darth Revan, who's already Relic 9, that's a Haven class team right there. So if your goal right now is what are your priority relics to do more for Rise of the Empire, my priority relics for you are your Enoch boys are most important to R9 because they give you something extra. DTMG and Scout to R8 because that gives you Mandalore. Skiff I would take to R8 to make your life easier, and ROTE to have a cohesive team. Your Jedi Vanguard team at R9 is going to help you with Ring of Kafrene. You may want to skip that for right now because your guild might not be doing Ring of Kafrene just yet. But as your guild starts to get into Ring of Kafrene, it is a worth it team, especially because you have the Depa Omicron already. Lord Vader, you already have your other clones at R9. You may as well bring him to R9 so that you can use him in those higher level battles as well. But even if you're not doing those higher level battles right this second, Lord Vader being a ramping GL, R8 versus R9 does fundamentally positively affect him in other game modes. I would also finish out that Spectre team to at least R8, right? It's all about cohesion. And then when it comes to your Sith, C should go to R8. I personally, and I've said this, I personally would bring Treya up, right? And do like C, Malik, Revan, Treya. And you could even throw Bane in there if you don't want to bring Nihilus up. And that Treya will help you kind of mitigate Relic Delta as well when it comes to GAC. But it's all about cohesion. Ahsoka can solo some R8, R9 planets alone, so you might not necessarily need to take her up as a team as long as you have homeless R8 and R9 tunes to throw with her. For now, on Lothal, yes, she could probably solo Lothal. She soloed the Ufu battle on Zepho for me as well. But if you're at a place in the game where you have everything unlocked and your goal is building CMs and getting further in Rise, what you want to do is try to find teams that can complete harder missions so you can put teams that can't complete harder missions on those lower missions. And it's like this constant juggling act. So I'm going into this review on the understanding that our goal here is to literally focus on, hey, we are working on bringing these characters up to higher relics for a specific purpose. Now, again, as a final thought, 13.5 million, personal race score to 15.3. You could be in a rote guild doing 45 stars right now and maxing the raid. Hands down, especially with veterans leaving, guilds are hurting for people at that higher level. You could be doing really, really well for yourself, even in like a casual competitive guild that like gives some leeway and isn't super, super try hard. But I'm not going to push the angle. I'm just going to tell you that that would be very, very, very beneficial to you. All right, let's. I see 2 more people posted them today. I'm going to do 1 more for today, and we'll save the last one for next Sunday, just so that I can start getting ready. Yeah, I send all of my temporaries to Zavor. I go, hey man, you have a spot. But I would, and there I know that Zavor's guild is maxing the raid. So Jane's, I always want to say Janez, just seems nicer. what time? I didn't put a time down. 2:09. Let's say 2:09. Well, I like to do them in order. If I don't do them in order, I get confused. If I don't do this in order, and then Zap, I didn't actually realize that was you, but now I know it's you. If I don't do them in order, I will forget about them. Type of review is standard. Which teams to build next? I currently have a Zeta deficiency, which has been made worse since the introduction of Lightspeed tokens, which is a very big thing for a lot of players right now. Top 20 of your fleet arena looks like all Leviathans. I usually place top 5 first when I have time to do all 5 battles. I hate the fact that you have to do all 5 battles. I feel lucky that I generally only have to do like 2. Some days I have to do 5, but usually 2. Are you coordinating? No, Fleet Discord currently exists, and no one responds to messages in game. That's sad. Assault battles, all of them are CT3, except Secrets and Shadows, Fanatical Devotion are both CT2. Duel of the Fates is where it needs to be. Peridia Patrol is R7. Ahsoka is being finished up now, just farming signal data for the relic upgrades. Are you currently dead set on that? Yes, I would hope so. Are you dead going to continue? How high do you value efficiency? I like to be efficient, but I think other than Peridia Patrol, I have my efficiency mostly there. I would mostly agree with you. Fanatical Devotion will come with time. Secrets and Shadow will come with time. It's not worth building specifically for those things. I want to have a Satil OR team up when she is unlocked. SOTOR was always a favorite game of mine back in the day. Shards for any important Proving Grounds characters. Most characters unlocked. Luthen is at 290 and will be unlocked when Andor teams are brought into the main game, so not really a concern right now. DS Ray is at 249, Ezra's at 214, Satil will be unlocked on day 1. Some hopeful info. Currently have 10-ish teams that I see used in GA often, and I think would benefit my roster. I might be missing some, but I can't think of those at the moment. I have included these teams so you can find them more easily. Thank you. I am happy to go for any of my missing GLs as well. PKHO is currently, when people say sharded, I read sharded, and it's funny to me. Just about sharded, just 2 Cantina farms to go. All right, so Ahsoka into Hondo. I know I put your stuff on the screen before. I didn't look at it. Looking at this stuff, no BKM, no Star Killer, no Afra, no Jar Jar Binks. So all of those like kind of optionally guys. I'm going to say somewhere around like 9 million. 11 million. Okay. I'm just surprised at 11 million not having like some of these things, not having like BKM or anything. Why is BKM at 160 if you have them all? Is that because of Zetas, right? Because like Paz or whatever battles, you need Zetas and it's taking you forever to get them, so you're just taking your time on it. Star Killer, we're still working on. Oh, because KB probably, because I'm not looking at the team, I'm looking at the requirements. All right, let's see. Yeah, Kelleran's there. So that must be it. All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 GL. Ahsoka's being sharded. You have Leviathan. You have Profundity. No. We have Profundity. We don't have Executor. Okay. Yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes sense to wait right now. You have Executor. Shark Killer is the unknown twin of Star Killer. All right. It's annoying that this saves between battles, so I'm like, gotta unclick all this shit. Okay, she's close at 380. And I'm assuming gonna take her right to R9 because of her event. It's a really high profile event, so if you weren't planning on it, I would very much recommend you do so. Jar Jar Binks, you're right there, but you obviously don't have the Zetas right now. Leia, we've got Leviathan, Cal, Afra, not really super important for you. Starkiller, Mara Jade, and Kyle. Again, I'm assuming here. Yeah, so not really important for you. Ray, so close to Ray too. It sucks being in this Zeta deficit, and I completely, I both understand it and don't understand it, right? Because I have all of the Zetas, been playing for a very long time. So when people ask me what Zeta do I use, what Zeta should I get, it can be really hard for me to like put myself in another player's shoes at that point, and try to figure out, what they should be doing. What I think I would say here, first of all, I think that the optimal path in terms of what farms to go after is after Ahsoka, you may as well finish up Rey while you are finishing and working on Hondo. You're just so close, it makes sense. Finish Ahsoka, finish Rey, go harder on Hondo. Now, outside of that, because of your Zeta deficit, you don't want to expand too much on other teams. And I know you want Satele, and that you're going to unlock Satele. You have her where she eventually. You're going to probably keep at least 3 Zetas in the bank for Satele, or it might be 4 for her. I feel like sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 4 for Conquest characters. Can't check over here. Units. Satele. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to probably want to keep 4 Zetas just in the chamber, right, over the next month. But beyond those 4 Zetas being in the chamber, and beyond going and following the path that you're currently on, and that path is Ahsoka into Rey into Hondo. Normally, I would tell people work on their fleets during that time because there's no Zetas needed for fleets. But while you're doing all of this stuff and while you're in this Zeta deficit, I would be looking at the teams that you already have available to you, the teams that are already done, and trying to bring them up to higher relic levels. So we look at like the Ufu team, for example. Seer Maul, Taron Malicos, Cal Kestis, Ninth Sister. It is a beautiful team. It is an amazing team. Like, I love the Seer Malicos team, but it's also a fundamentally Zeta and Omicron expensive team. And right now, you just cannot afford to not place Zetas on Galactic Legends and to not place Zetas on, Satele, which is kind of like your fun farm right now. So I look at all of these new teams that you have isolated, and I'm like, they're not going to really do the thing you want them to do if you can't Zeta them. Your first priority is going to be to the farms that you're currently working on. I think your second priority should really be to look at the teams you're already using and figure out if it makes sense for you to bring them a little bit higher, because if they already have Zetas, they're going to do fundamentally better for you. Darth Bane, I personally would bring Bane to at least R8. Where are we we're in Erodium. Kyber 3, lowest rating. Okay, so Kyber 3. I would personally bring Darth Bane to at least R8. He's a very good character. He does really well when he does really well, but if he's lower relic, it can be very hard for him to perform in the way that you want him to perform. Your clones are already done. Bringing those clones and Lord Vader up, even if it's just to relic 8. This is basically what I'm saying is we need to buy you time. Right? And these are all things that you're going to do after your GL farms. So these are things that you're going to do after all that stuff is you're just going to buy yourself time on farms so that you can put Zetas on the other farms that you've isolated as being really useful to you. And you can kind of go down your application list while you're looking at these teams. You have our Nihilus at Relic 7 now, which is good. Relic Delta kind of puts them in that position. The whole useful team is at Relic 7. Let's see what else. Chewie. On Mothma is not going to be very useful, presumably, in a couple of months. Malgus, another character that, like, honestly, I would bring to, like, Relic 7 to Relic 8. Keeping him at Relic 5 kind of neuters him a little bit. You want him to have some of those really, really hard hits. Still Sean, Relic 3, that's a team that's going to get deleted in GAC. I would bring her to Relic 7. Oh my goodness. I'm just at this point, I look at all of these teams that you've isolated for me and I just go, hey, you're going to be in a rough position. The first team that on your teams of 10 that I would go for, though, is probably Inquisitors, because you have the Zetas for half of the team. Third Sister, you're still going to have to apply them. Grand Inquisitor, you're still going to have to apply them. But because of the Lightspeed tokens, you have found yourself in a position where you have Zetas that you probably wouldn't have had otherwise, and they will be helpful to you. But I mean, this is a tough battle you have ahead, man. Very tough battle. Angry Sith is actually on your team list, right? I see Malgus. Oh, I said to do Malgus to R7 before, but I didn't notice he didn't have his Zetas yet. And I see now Malgus, Revan. Malik only has one of his Zetas, so they're kind of hurting for it right now. Yeah. I think that right now your best bet is finish the grinds that you've isolated, right? Ahsoka, Rey, Hondo. They're important grinds. But then just start mitigating old teams. Buy yourself time on these Zetas. Save some, penny pinch some crystals, and start buying those crystal packs. Not the money packs, the crystal packs for Zetas. Because you have Zap, man, this is Riva would be the first one that I would isolate on your list. But you need to increase your Zeta acquisition rate. And to me, I don't want to tell people not to do certain refreshes. Always do your 3 Cantina refreshes. But that might mean trying to free up some resources so that you can get some Zeta packs when they come down, because you are in a hole right now. You are in a deep, deep, deep hole right now when it comes to Zetas. Fuck, man. This is... I would also consider, because you're in this hole, at 11 million GP, you have a lot of things you could still relic up with those 5,000 era currency LSTs. But maybe you start buying some servo motors just to have them in the background for when you need them. Because applying characters to Relic 5, or applying characters to relics, is not helping you right now. Right? Would it be completely terrible to buy Zetas using the third raid currency? Oh, God. Let's take a look at our raid currency. My instinct, my gut says ew. My God. I mean, man, think about what you're doing there. So my guild gets, what is it? It's 8,500 MK3, I think it is, at max box, divided by 1175. At max box, it takes me 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks to get a Zeta from MK3. I do not know if I can support buying if I can support buying that. Like, I feel like that's a rough one to be buying Zetas here. I think what I would do, I know you know about my crystal utility. I'd plug your shit into that crystal utility. Yeah, so 3 a week, right? Divided by, you're looking at like 7 weeks just for a Zeta. I would plug your shit into that Zeta utility. I would look at the Zeta packs, right? So we're here. I don't have them formatted super well here, but let's see. Normal packs, Zeta amplifier. Is this a, nope, that's a money pack. Zeta mastery, it's a money pack. I know that there's crystal packs. I just don't know if I have them valued yet. Normal pack, Galactic Zeta duality, no money pack. I know that there is one. I just clearly don't have it here yet. Because I would tell you to plug that in, but it seems like I just don't have it here right now. Reserve. No. Grand Relic. Supreme Ability Catch. Supreme Ability Catch has some Zetas possibility. I mean, it's not the greatest at $24.99 cost crystal wise. I don't know if I would say it's the greatest thing, but like even the core upgrade at $24.99, you're getting at least 8 Zetas. I don't recommend this often, man, but I would almost say plug that into the Zeta crystal income thing and try to find a way where you can make sure you're getting a couple extra Zetas from other sources. Because that is your issue right now. You are in Zeta hell right now. Go outside, make a sign that says, ninjas stole my Zetas, need money to apply more. And sit out there with a cup or something. Because that is your focus right now, more so than gearing and relicking other things. And if you find yourself in a position where, you know, you have Ahsoka and you have Rey, because Rey is super fast, and you have everything from Hondo sharded, but you're still, you know, applying Ahsoka Zetas, Satil Zetas, Rey Zetas, then it might be a good idea at that point to say, okay, I'm going to pause Hondo for just a bit, and I'm going to start applying some of these other things now, my higher relics on characters now, and then going back to Hondo later. I wish I could be more helpful than that, man. That's the best I can give you. You are in Zeta hell, and it is not a good place to be. It's not a good place at all to be. Oh. With that said, guys, it is about 10 o'clock. I have a movie soon. I have stuff that I have to go do. So we are going to call it a day for the day. We're going to raid into this newer guy from Norway. I think he speaks English. I hope he speaks English. Tomorrow we got TB coming up. I have some stuff on the docket for next week to come out. So hopefully look for that. I appreciate everybody spending that time with me. So thank you. We'll see you next week for brunch.